Good morning, everyone. My name is Krishna. I'm working as assistant professor in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering from CSC department. Today we are going to discuss the topic is about human-computer interaction in that variety of interactive systems. So first of all, the course outcomes for this subject is CO1 is identify and explain the key concerns and skills involved in designing interactive systems. So we are going to identifying and explaining the key concerns about skills involved in designing interactive systems. CO2 is apply scenario based and participatory techniques to understand user requirements and behavior. So CO2 is we are going to applying the scenario based and participatory techniques to understand the user requirements and behavior. CO3 is develop conceptual, visual and physical designs for user interfaces using appropriate metaphors and interaction principles. So first of all, what is the variety of interactive systems available in the human-computer interactions? So interactive systems allow user to communicate and interact with computers. So interactive systems allow users to communicate and interact with the computers, and these they are fundamental in human-computer interaction. And examples include ATM, smartphones, websites, and smart devices. So these are all the variety of interactive systems. In that, the interactive system is allowing users to communicate and interact with the computers. So that is the system we are going to develop with the help of computers, with the help of softwares. So they are fundamental in human-computer interaction. So the interactive systems are the very fundamentals in the human-computer interaction. Examples include ATM, smartphones, website, and smart devices. So, classification of interactive systems. So, classification of interactive systems means interactive systems can be classified based on input mode, output mode, user environment, that is a desktop, mobile, immersive, and level of interaction and feedback. So here, if you concentrate how the interactive systems are classified, is interactive systems can be classified based on the input mode. So what kind of input we are going to giving, the customer or user is going to give, what kind of input he is going to give, and output mode. So output is what kind of mode the output we are getting, and user environment, and in that desktop, mobile, immersive, and level of interaction and feedback. So what kind of level the interaction and feedback will be taken from the customer for the application. So these are the classification of the interactive systems. So first one, command line interface. So there are so many different types of interactive systems or interfaces that are command line interface. So what is command line interface? Means text-based interface. It is a text-based interface. The humans are going to be interfacing or interacting with the computer or applications or website in the text-based, that is command line interface, that is text-based interface where users type commands. So here user is going to type in the commands. Example are Linux terminals. So if you take the Linux application, Linux software, so you are going to using Linux terminal. In that you are giving commands to interact with the computer. Windows CMD. So Windows CMD command prompt also you are giving commands to interact with the computer in order to use the applications. And pros and cons for the command line interface. If we are using command line interface, what kind of pros and cons are there. So here, what is the pros? It is very fast and efficient for expert. So those who are expert in the Linux or Windows command, they are very fast, efficient for the expert. So those who are expert in the Linux or Windows, it is very fast for those people. And what are the cons? Is that hard for engineers and less visual. So it is very hard for the engineers and less for the visuals. So these are the command line interfaces. So next, graphical user interface. The interface is that graphical user interface. So it uses visual elements like windows, buttons, icons. So here uses visual elements like windows, buttons and icons. So that is an example is Windows operating system or Mac operating system or Android user interface. These are all the examples of user visual elements, windows, buttons and icons. So pros and cons. So initiative and user friendly, and cons are resource intensive. So these are the pros and cons for the graphical user interface. Voice user interface. The next one is VUI, that is voice user interface. So what is voice user interface? What kind of interaction is going to be done in the voice user interface? So how it is helpful for the interactive systems. So here users interact through speech commands. So voice. So here we are going for using voice. So user is interacting through speech commands. So he is interacting with the speech commands for the interaction with the computer or interacting with the applications, so that you can easily interact with the application. Example is Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri. So these are all modern tools. They are already we are using Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri. These are the voice user interfaces. By using these Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, we can able to interact with the computer and we can able to communicate and we can use it. Pros and cons. So hands-free and natural. So it is a hands-free applications, that is Alexa, Google Assistant and Siri. And cons are accuracy issues, privacy concerns. So there is a accuracy issues and privacy will be there. So we have to focus on that. Gesture-based interface. So gesture-based interface is one more type of the applications or interface we are going to developing. So what is it? It is recognize human gestures using sensors or cameras. So here we are using sensors and cameras. So sensors and cameras are going to be used in this gesture-based interfaces. So recognize human gestures and using sensors and camera. So sensors are going to be sensing the human gestures, whether he is what kind of gesture he is giving. So based on the gesture, the sensor is going to activating, or we are using cameras. So cameras is going to be capturing the human gesture, and he recognizes and he understands it. It understands it. After understanding, it will communicate with the application. So here example is Microsoft Kinect, Leap Motion, VR hand tracking. So the examples of the gesture-based interface is Microsoft Kinect, Leap Motion, and VR and tracking. So these are the examples for the gesture-based interfacing by using sensors and cameras. So pros and cons. The pros and cons for this gesture-based while using sensors and cameras is natural and immersive interaction. So if you are using sensors and cameras, we are going, it's a very natural and intensive immersive interaction will be there. And cons, requires sensors and may misread gestures. So the sensors and cameras may be misreading the gesture of human beings. So whether it is going to be giving some error. So it is going to be calculating a misinput, taking as a misinput. And next is touch-based interfaces. So the touch-based interface, and if you develop the touch-based interfaces, So what is touch based? So interaction through touch screens. So all the mobile phones, laptops, TV, all are using touch based interfaces. So touch based interfaces we are using, those are touch screens. So examples are smartphones, tablets, ATMs. So we are using smartphones, tablets, ATMs for the operating our mobile phones, tablets and ATMs. So we are using touch screen. So we are touching the inputs and giving the input, and we are communicating with the touch screen so that it will give the output. We can interact with the machine or system or smartphone or tablet. So what is the pros and cons means? Direct and initiative. So directly we can communicate with the machine, and cons are limited precision and smudges. So next one is brain computer interface. So brain computer interface is one more different type of interactive systems. So it is enables direct communication between brain and computer. So our brain is going to be interacting with the computers, that is brain computer interface. So how we are interfacing our brain with the machine or computer? Here Neuralink and EEG controlled prosthetics. So there is a link between our neurosystem, neurons and neurosystem in the brain, or we are using EEG controlled prosthetics. So it is the tool which you have used for the direct interaction. Our brain is going directly interacting with the computer. That is, these Neuralink and EEG systems are controlling our brain. So they are communicating, they are identifying our signals in the brain. So supports pros and cons for this brain computer interface. Supports disabled users, futuristic application. So disabled users or futuristic application, it is going to be used. Cons, expensive, complex technology. So it is very expensive and complex technology. So the organizations or NGOs or government should be help for this kind of applications. Next one is web-based interactive systems. Web-based interactive systems. So here accessed through browsers. How web-based interactive systems are used means it is accessed through browsers and internet platforms. So accessed through the browsers and internet platforms. So here we are using browsers are there and a platform. Some internet platforms we are going to using for the interactive systems. So example is e-commerce applications through the browsers only we are using, and e-learning or online banking. So online banking we can use with the help of browser and platforms. So pros and cons for this web-based interactive systems is accessible anywhere, platform independent. So it is the pros and cons are for the browsers, accessible anywhere and platform independent. So by using your platform, any platform you are only using your application, e-commerce application or e-learning or online application. So e-commerce applications or e-learning or online banking. So these three are only directly browsed by the browsers. So these are the independent. Well, because we are using browser, that's why these are applications are the independent application. Anywhere you can browse your application and you can communicate with that applications. So cons are requires internet connection. So anywhere you have to internet. So without internet, you cannot operate, communicate with your application with the browser. So next, virtual and augmented reality systems. So next one is virtual and augmented realities. That is virtual and augmented reality systems. So VR, virtual reality. So immersive 3D virtual worlds. So what is virtual means? Virtual reality or augmented reality. Virtual reality is immersive 3D virtual worlds, and augmented reality is adds digital content to the real world. So to the real world we are adding digital world. So that is an example is Oculus Rift and Pokemon Geo. So these are all the examples for the AR and VR. So next one is embedded systems. So next one is embedded interactive systems. So here built into applications or devices. So embedded systems means built into applications or devices. Examples are car dashboard, smart TVs, and washing machines. So built into the applications or devices. So directly we are going to building in the device, or directly we are building in the applications. So that is car dashboard or smart TVs, washing machines. These are the embedded systems we are using for the communication. The cons are convenient and user specific and limited flexibility and unpredictability. Next one is conversational interface or chatbot. So next one is conversational interface or chatbot. So what is conversational interface or chatbot? So the interaction through text or speech conversations. So we are interacting with the application or machine with the help of speech or text. So example is chat GPT. This is very, very important. So nowadays all the students and everyone is using chat GPT, customer service bots and WhatsApp bots. So chat GPT and chatbot. So by using ChatGPT or bots, we are going to chatting with the AI, and we are communicating with the AI. That is WhatsApp bots, chatbots, customer service bot, ChatGPT. So that we are going directly getting the services by using chatting. That is speech conversation or text conversation. Whatever we required any information. For example, I wanted some bank information. So HDFC, some bank is developed some chatbot application. So directly I enter into chatbot and I will chat with the chatbot application. I will get the services provided by that particular bank. So always pros and cons for this application is always available and scalable, and limited understanding of complex requests. So this is the different cons. So conclusion is, and future trends for this variety of interactive systems in the human-computer interaction, while the development of different human interactive systems. So interactive systems are evolving rapidly. So we are going to evaluating very rapidly, very fastly. We are going to be different interactive systems will be developed, and emerging trends. Augmented reality or AI, haptics, multimodal interfaces. These are all the emerging trends. So here, augmented reality, AI, artificial intelligence, AR, and VR. These are all the very important trends, emerging trends. So emerging trends and multimodal interfaces. And the goal is make human-computer interaction more natural, initiative, and accessible. So that is the goal of the development of the interactive systems for the human-computer interaction. So what is the human-computer interaction is more natural and intuitive and accessible. This is the goal for the human-computer interaction while developing any applications or any kind of machines. How the user is going to be interacting with the application, or how the user is going to interacting with that machine. So that is very, very important. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.